Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Cashflow Pirate Podcast. It's been a couple of weeks since the last episode of this, and that is mainly because I have come up with quite a cool, it's not really a business, but it's an interest that I'm exploring more. So I'll get into that in a second. But I just want to say thank you for all the downloads of the last episode in particular. That was with my friend Kevin, and we were just talking to him about some of the struggles he was having with his business and maybe some ideas he could come up with and test and try. So I do plan on doing a follow-up with Kev, just to see how he's getting on, where things are going with him. So hopefully you'll find that pretty interesting as well. Again, thank you to all the last few weeks. The podcast has really been getting some heavy downloads. So thank you so much for all the downloads. It's been fantastic. Let me just go into this. It's not going to be a particularly long episode this week, but I just wanted to sort of let you know, where I've been and what I've been doing really. In the past, I have recommended a book called "Be a Free Range Human." It's Escape the 9 to 5, Create a Life You Love, and Still Pay the Bills, and that is by Marianne Cantwell. And I'll tell you what, I've said this before. What a book this is! If you are looking to create your own business, or you kind of, even if you're not at the very start, but if you're at the very start of thinking, do you know what, I want to do something for myself, then this is absolutely the book you need to read. Over any other business book or entrepreneur book, this is the one, trust me. Okay, and the reason why is she helps you break down the whole problem of discovering what you want to do and what you want to be. I mean, it starts from the point of you have no idea what business you want. You have no idea what your skills and strengths are. She explains the difference between skills and strengths, which is actually quite fascinating. I think that's a really interesting part. And then she works out with you in the book what you want to do and what your interests are. This is done by several questionnaires throughout the book, where you just write your answers in, and then basically she sort of stitches them together for you. And by the end of it, you come out with almost a personalised business just for you, which it's fascinating. It's absolutely brilliant. And she's a lovely lady. And if you contact her on social media or tag her or anything, she nearly always replies with really nice comments. So she's been fantastic. I did actually, I've had a few conversations with her on Instagram, in fact, asking about doing a feature on this book, where I can go through some of the questions in the book, but I've got to be careful because of copyright and all that sort of stuff. So I will be doing some more future episodes where I'll try and sort of cover some of the main aspects of the book and how I used it, which I think it'll be really cool. I think really interesting. I think you'll like it. So I went through this book. Now there's a second book I'm going to recommend after this, but what I did with this book is she gets you basically to write down all of your interests and all of your hobbies and all of your goals, anything at all. She gets you to write it all down. And the thing I've always struggled with is my interests really are gaming, business, creating businesses. I really love the process of building businesses and just creating ideas. I say businesses, more business ideas. I really love that starting point. And I really like helping other people. If someone else comes, even though I'm no expert myself, but if someone comes to me with an idea that they've got, I really love to help them explore that and see if I can help them with all I have quite a broad, random skill set of skills and strengths. So I really like, if I can use them, I'll always try and help people. So that was one of my sort of core ideas, helping people, business, computer games and technology. They are my core areas of interest and strength. So as I went through this book, what I've decided to do, now if you don't know, I currently do live stream on Twitch. And Twitch is a predominantly computer game live streaming service. So you just play your game and then you stream that gameplay live on Twitch for people to watch. And that's great. So I've been doing that for probably 2 years now. It's quite difficult to make money unless you're really popular on there, and to be really popular you kind of got to have a crazy personality or be really specific and target a really dedicated niche of gamers, so you're playing the game they all love. So that's the kind of the only issue with Twitch. So what I've actually started is I've incorporated the helping people and the gaming. And there's an area of game development that's really fascinated me, and that is independent game makers, or indie games, as they're more commonly known. I realised that I can play these games, which I love playing, and if I target independent developers, I can actually help them grow their independent game. So what I've decided to do, and I have been doing for the last 3 weeks, is I've been using Twitter to contact these independent game developers and saying, hi there, I'm a Twitch streamer and I stream indie games. And then I set aside a time and I stream their game on Twitch, and usually they want to come and watch me stream their game so they can answer questions. So they share the message via their social media to their fans, who then, some of them come along to watch the live stream being played as well. The developer answers questions in the chat about the game, and I just talk about how, the game I'm playing. I just play it and enjoy it and talk about it. And then I talk to the developer, and then the fans see that interaction as well. So I get some follows on Twitch from their user base, the developer's user base of fans. And then I say fans in quotation marks, my fans, followers, get to see some cool games and discover new developers. So that was great. But then I felt like I needed to push that on. I needed to create more content for this, which is where the idea of a new podcast. So what I did, I created a brand new podcast. I hosted it on Anchor.fm, which is a free podcast hosting service. And then what I'm doing is I'm playing the developer's game on Twitch. I'm then a week later, I'm interviewing that developer using the Discord community app. It's hard to explain what it is really, but the Discord app where lots of gamers use to chat, and it's like a little social network really for gamers. So I'm using that to record it, and then I also live stream that conversation as well. So people can tune in and watch me interview the developer live on air, and then after that fact, I edit the podcast, cut out all the ums and ahs and funny sounds, and then I release that as a podcast, which then, of course, this has all given me key points to be able to share content. So I'm getting content from the original stream of the game. I'm getting the live stream of the podcast recording. I'm then getting the actual audio podcast. And then I'm trying to create YouTube highlights of the game while I'm playing. So that is at least 4 key points where I can share content and create content around, and it's stuff I love doing anyway. And for the first 3 weeks, I started a brand new Twitter account for this. I started obviously a brand new podcast. I'm 8 episodes in now. I've been doing 1-2 a week so far. I've gone past, I'm on 120 something downloads already on the podcast, which is fantastic. I think the Twitter account has got nearly 80 followers on already, and I'm already getting developers contact me on Twitter asking for me to cover their game for them. So it's been going really well, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's all from this Free Range Human book that has found me this direction. It's been fantastic. The follow-up book to this is The One-Page Marketing Plan by Alan Dibb. And this is a fantastic, not just a marketing book, but it really simplifies and makes you realise what you should and shouldn't be doing with marketing. But it's not all technical babble and stuff you won't understand. It's more to help you define your audience, how to define who you are, what your message is, and what you should be targeting. And again, it comes with a task you can do where you can print out the sheet and just fill in. And it literally is a 1-page sheet to fill in, where you can fill in everything you need to do, and then there's your marketing plan. It's done. It's absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend these 2 books together. And if you follow them along, I have no doubt that you will come out with a business or an idea that you can at least try. Don't forget, this doesn't have to be... You can go through these 2 books as many times as you want, but you'll come out with a great idea, and with the marketing book, you'll have a way to implement it and to really check if it's a good idea or not. So they work really well together. So I highly recommend both of those. But back to the new podcast I've been doing. You might be thinking, okay, but how does that make any money? Which is obviously a question that I had. So there's a couple of ways. With Twitch, people can subscribe to you, and they can be like $5 a month. So you might only get a couple of dollars from each person that subscribes. But of course, that can really build up. That can really rack up. The other way is podcast adverts. That is another way you can earn a little bit of revenue, and YouTube revenue. Now, for YouTube, you do need quite a few subscribers and watchers and watch time to really get any money out of that. But the fact is, that combined with the other two ways, that's 3 ways of potentially making money there. The other way, of course, is I could eventually, if it becomes very popular, I'm going to have to start selecting who and which games I actually play. So the opportunity is there to charge the developer a fee, and do it as a service, as like an exposure service, where I'm giving them a podcast, several YouTube videos. I'm giving them. I could turn it into a blog post as well, which is probably something I should do. I just don't have time at the minute. So they get blog posts, YouTube videos, social media tweets, and Instagram mentions, and all the social media stuff that you can share. Because of course, every time I make a Twitch broadcast, there's a few tweets about that to get people interested. Again, when it goes into YouTube, I can share that again and mention the developer in there as well. Again, with the podcast, that's a whole new audience. You can share that out and mention them all on there. And again, with the blog post, all the backlinks mentioning their company, where to find them, all that stuff is all in the show notes as well. All in the blog post as well. So there's quite a few ways to do it. And then there may well be sponsorships from game companies or hardware manufacturers, or all sorts of ways. So there's quite a few avenues there to be able to make money, and that is the goal. But at the minute, the difference is I just love doing it. I love talking to game developers. I love creating the content, so it doesn't feel like a chore, and it does make a difference. I mean, maybe I don't like to do what you love, because if you can't make you money, there's no point in doing it as a business, if you understand. But it's do what works, I think, is the advice I'd give. Do what you're happy doing that works. You've got to find a medium in there somewhere, and if it just so happens to be that you love doing it and it works, I think that is just a bonus, to be honest. So that is what I've been working on for the last few weeks. I'm learning how to edit and create YouTube videos and thumbnails, and that's a pretty useful skill anyway. And there we go. So that is it. That's what I've been working on. That's why you have not seen so many episodes recently. Now, the other thing I've started looking at is, of course, with the coronavirus going on in the world at the minute, it's very difficult. I mean, I'm lucky that I can still work full time, so I still have money coming in. So obviously looking at things to do at home is pretty important at the minute. And that takes me back to dropshipping. Now, in February, my dropshipping store I was running my engagement ads to build up an audience, and I was all ready to launch with the targeted adverts on Facebook, and the virus hit and all the factories shut down. So I just turned off all my ads and everything from my website completely, because there's no point in wasting money. So what I did, I contacted the supplier last week for one of my products on the store. And I just asked them, are you open? Are you able to ship products? All the questions I need to ask. And they replied a few days later and said, yes, we're open and we are able to ship. So there we go. So I started up. I just ticked my Facebook ads straight back on. And it was the ads that I ran before. So I've kind of had to do them again just to get, the same, just to make sure the figures were correct, make sure it was still the correct results. So I turned those on, and instantly, within an hour, my store had like 60 views, a few adds to cart, reactions, comments, likes. So the interest is still there. So that's not a problem. So if you are looking at doing dropshipping, it may be worth, even if you're not sure about shipping yet, there's nothing stopping you while this is a bit of downtime and you are home a lot, and learn how to build a store. Learn how to build a Shopify store, how to integrate Oberlo, how to research products, you can be doing all that now, knowing that, maybe the competition isn't as strong at the minute, because a lot of people would have shut their stores down. I guarantee it. So use this time wisely. Have a look. I do also have another store on the way. And I've done this a completely different way. So this store is a WordPress store, and it's built on WooCommerce. But what I've actually done, I've got a developer. He's not really, I want to say, not really a PA, but he kind of is. So he's a VA. That's the word I'm looking for, a virtual assistant. So what I'm doing, I'm paying him just a regular fee each month, and then I'm doing nothing to the website. And he's built the store all by himself. He's researching all the products, putting them in a spreadsheet for me. I'm checking them over. He's then importing them to the shop that he's built. And obviously I'm just getting the, check which theme I like. Can I connect to my PayPal address? Can I connect to all the stuff that I need to do? And then he's worrying about all the building and all the product information and everything. Just because I wanted to see if it was possible to just pay someone to do it for me, and then I just make the big decisions. Whereas on Shopify, it's just me. So I have created the store, I have chosen the product, I have done everything on there, and I'm running it all myself. So I just wanted to see which one works better. So I'll let you know that that both stores are not fully active yet. So I'll let you know which one wins out in the end. And that is about it. I just wanted to give you an update. So let me know what you think. And let me know if you do buy these books, or you do, or if you've already done them and read them. Please let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts on them. This Free Range Human book, I'll tell you, I bought it on audiobook. I have the physical book. I have it on Kindle. And I think that's everywhere. I think I've got it everywhere that's available. I have it on, just so I've always got a copy of it to read somewhere, because it's fantastic. And again, you can go through it as many times as you like. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this episode. Any feedback that you've got, please email me, cashflowpirate@gmail.com. And as always, any reviews on iTunes for the podcast are hugely appreciated. Thank you so much for everybody who's left reviews so far. That's very kind of you. So let me know, and also actually let me know what you're working on while you've been quarantined, or whatever stage you're at now. Please let me know what you're working on. I'd love to know. Right, I shall be back next time. Take care, everyone. Ciao for now.